Karoline Leavitt wants you focused on her clean, polished White House talking points, but this time the mess came from inside the house. Because while cameras were rolling, a member of her own family circle got dragged into a story that doesn't sound like politics. It sounds like a system chewing up real people. A mother branded a criminal illegal alien, separated from her child, and left 26 days with no phone after her phone was allegedly broken during the arrest. And when the details started spilling out, the transfers across multiple states, the fear, the character assassination, even a lawyer saying the criminal label was patently false, you could practically feel the panic ripple through the political machine. So what exactly got revealed on air that made the situation explode? Who is protecting who, and who's getting sacrificed to keep the narrative intact? Stay with me, because once you see how this story unfolds in that interview room, you'll understand why Leavitt's usual tough act suddenly doesn't look so confident anymore.
So when they say to you that you're a criminal illegal alien, which is what they're technically calling you specifically and explicitly, this administration, what do you say to that?
I'm heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for my son, I'm heartbroken for my mother, who has worked for a quarter of a century cleaning houses, earned an honest living, has paid her taxes. I've been a law-abiding citizen. I don't even have a parking ticket, and I'm so proud of it. I'm proud of my name, and I carry it like a badge of honor, like being on an honor roll. And now my child is sitting somewhere watching them broadcast this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As a child, he must be terrified. Is it true? Did my mom do something? Do I not know about it? Gossip in school? I don't know what's going on in his little mind, and I just want him to know that none of those things are true, honey, and we're going to square this all away.
So that when you go in that day and you make that emergency call, then you lose your phone, right? You don't
Correct.
have a phone.
Yeah.
Okay. For 26 days?
26 days.
26 days, no phone.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I can't even imagine what it's like to not
For
be
a
able to talk
mother,
to your child
yeah.
for 26 days.
And her phone somehow got broken during the arrest too, which is on TMZ.
Coincidentally.
It's not a violent arrest, but her phone managed to get
Your
broken.
phone got broken.
Correct.
What was that even like, to not be able to know what happened to your child, or even who picked him up from school or anything, for 26 days, Bruna?
You have a lot of time to think in there, and you really think the worst. You think the worst, but the luck that I had is that I was surrounded by so many women that had 4 children, one was pregnant, and I can't imagine. I just tried to put myself in their shoes. I was in such a horrible situation, but they were praying for me and I was praying for them, and being able to contact an attorney that could expedite my process, because some people are in there for a year and a half. I can't fathom a mother not knowing where her son is for a year and a half, and who's with him, what he's eating, if he's going to bed on time, if he's sick. I can't imagine.
It's unbearable. I mean, it's the cruelty of it.
It's cruel.
So you are, okay, but in this time then, how many places do you go? You're taken from place to place, right? How are you, and can you just talk about what it was like inside, who was there? I mean, were you treated well? I mean, tell us.
It's mind-boggling to know that they know where you're going, but they won't tell you. So I was shuffled from Massachusetts quickly to New Hampshire, from New Hampshire to Vermont, Vermont to Philadelphia, Philadelphia to Texas. When I got to Texas, I asked the ICE agent, because it said Mexico, and I said, can you please, please, please have a little bit of empathy for me and tell me if you're taking me across the border? And he said, no, we're taking you to the final destination, your final stop before your deportation, which is South Louisiana. Hardly anyone ever gets out of there. So I just mustered up the courage to cry and sleep throughout that final voyage. And when I got to South Louisiana, I was finally able to, by the grace of God, some girl let me use her minutes to make a phone call, and then to tell my family where I was and the attorneys.
And so that's, Todd, when you are able to help to get her out.
Yeah, I mean,
for now.
We got the case the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and like when she was taken to Vermont, she said that one of the ICE officers didn't think she spoke English, and said, "Oh, we got more business coming in." And then she winds up in Louisiana in another for-profit hellhole prison, paid for by taxpayers. She has 2 businesses. This is a woman who has 2 businesses, is a single mother, paying her taxes, and winds up in a for-profit prison in Louisiana. It's just unconscionable what they're doing on a daily basis. And then beyond that, this false character assassination, keep labeling her a criminal illegal alien. Their own lawyer on Monday, when we had a bond hearing, said, I stipulate, after we argued that she was not a criminal illegal alien, that was patently false factually, legally, and then they're still doubling down, claiming she was arrested for a crime. The only arrest in her life was this unconstitutional bag job on November the 12th.
What makes this segment hit so hard isn't some sensational gotcha, it's the contrast between the slick televised certainty of Washington messaging and the messy human reality that can't be spin controlled. Because on one side, you've got Karoline Leavitt's world, short, confident sound bites, labels like criminal, and a political strategy that wins by simplifying people into villains. On the other side, you've got a mother sitting in front of a camera saying in plain language that her life was flattened into a headline, criminal, illegal, alien, and that label didn't just attack her, it terrified her child. And here's the part that exposes the machine. The story isn't presented as a policy debate, it's presented as a weapon. The mother describes being unable to contact her child for 26 days, in part because her phone was allegedly damaged during the arrest. And that detail matters because it's not abstract, it's not border security, it's a kid wondering where their mom went. Then you get the logistical cruelty. Being shuffled through multiple facilities and states, never knowing where you're going next, hearing talk of deportation, as if your entire life is just cargo being rerouted. This is where political branding collides with consequences. When officials and friendly media throw around criminal as a catch-all insult, they're not just describing someone, they're trying to shut off empathy. Because empathy is dangerous to a narrative built on fear. If viewers start seeing a mother, a child, and a system that feels indifferent, suddenly the tough rhetoric stops sounding like strength and starts sounding like harm. And the legal angle in the clip makes it even more explosive. A lawyer states that the criminal, illegal, alien label was wrong, even saying government counsel stipulated it was false, yet the labeling and doubling down continues anyway. If that's accurate, it's a brutal reminder of how politics works in the attention economy. The correction never travels as far as the accusation. The smear becomes the product. The human being becomes collateral. That's why this story feels like panic to the political machine. It's not easily dismissed, it's personal, it's emotional, it's detailed, and details are what spin hates most because details force accountability. So here's what I want you to take away. This isn't about party loyalty. It's about power who gets to label people on TV, who pays the price when those labels are wrong, and why winning the narrative keeps coming at the expense of real families. If the system can make a mother disappear across state lines, cut her off from her child, and still sell her to the public as a cartoon villain, then the real scandal isn't bad optics. The real scandal is how easily cruelty gets rebranded as policy. If you want more breakdowns like this, where we separate the talking points from the lived reality hit, like, subscribe, and drop your take in the comments. Is this accountability? Or is it a smear machine that never has to clean up the damage it causes?